Is Zach Roloff a better dad than Matt? Hello viewers. Welcome back to my channel USA Roloff Family Gossip. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. From the show and the little people, Big World Star's issues with his father Matt Roloff are one major reason why. Father and son are so different, and their contrasting personalities really come through in their parenting styles. Is one Roloff a better dad than the other? Maybe. The best way to decide is to compare things they've done as fathers. While no dad is perfect, there are certain actions that Matt may want to apologize for. However, Zach's not a perfect father either. There was tension between Zach and Matt. There was so much bad blood. Zach did let Matt come over so he could see the grandchildren, but Matt and Zach's dynamic was a bit twisted. Zach was clearly still holding a grudge against his father over Roloff Farms. Zach believes that his dad promised to sell the farm to him instead. Matt put it on the market. Zach's a Taurus who values home, hearth and tradition. He's a real family man who probably dreamed of working at the farm while raising the family, just like his father did. Taurus natives hate change. They love their soothing routines. So, when Matt destroyed Zach's dreams, it really stung Dot. Zach had to think outside the box and find a different path. He definitely resents the fact that his dad wouldn't pass the farm down to him. Perhaps he hoped that his father would just give it to him as a sort of early inheritance. Zach probably thinks Matt's a selfish dad who's making bad decisions to please former other woman. And now fiancée, Karen Chandler. Matt said on screen that this is his time to think about himself. He's building a fancy house for him and Karen. No one's trying to say that he doesn't deserve it. Matt, who lives with a form of dwarfism that brings a lot of pain, he's had so many surgeries, deserves a truly accessible. He's building a rancher-style home without stairs. Every little person should have this kind of accessibility, it's so important. Matt has worked hard over the years. He was so industrious at Roloff Farms. However, he can be a difficult man. He was often hard on Amy Roloff when they were married, and Amy's a good woman. Matt may have fallen out of love with her long ago when it came to Amy. He seemed to be on a permanent fault-finding mission. Nothing she did was ever good enough. She's better off with Chris Marek, who is a gentler person. Now, the Roloff kids have issues with Matt and Corinne. The fallout from Matt and Amy's divorce has been serious. Zach probably holds the divorce against his dad too, that's just human nature. There's a lot of rage simmering under the surface. Matt probably feels like he's being judged and mistreated. The family is fractured, and Zach and Tori's decision to leave the series is the direct result of all this turmoil. Zach wants peace. He has said he hates talking about family members behind their backs during confessionals. He just wants to live in peace and do what's best for his family of 5. Zach quotes, quite gentle with his children, although he could show more patience with his little daughter, Lila Roloff, who has a speech delay. She's not outdoorsy and adventurous, she cries and whines a lot. This obviously gets on her father's nerves. Zach seems more like his father when he's curt and impatient with Lila. That's something he should work on. However, more often than not, he's a great dad. He's always trying to bond with his kids. His son Jackson is the most adorable child. Sweet, protective, cute as a button, and so bright. The fact that Jackson is a total sweetie says a lot about Zach's skills as a father and the newly slim Tori's as a mother. These parents are doing a good job. Their son is thriving under their care. The other children will probably have the same positive experience. Their home life features a lot of peaceful and happy moments, perhaps more than the now-grown Roloff kids had at the farm. Maybe Zach doesn't want his kids to grow up on TV like he did. If he's pulling away from the show for that reason, he's a very wise man. That's an unselfish choice that will likely benefit his kids. Of course, Zach's issues with Matt are always there too, pushing his son away from him. Zach isn't sure they can repair their rift. Roloff Farms hasn't sold yet, but the damage is done. In a confessional, Matt said, "When Zach and I finally sat down, we were really in very different camps about what kind of a deal could go on. Zach came in real hot. He didn't come in to negotiate, he came in to demand. Matt listed part of the farm for sale in May 2022 for a whopping $4 million. By late December 2023, he'd listed the property twice that winter. He decided to take it off the market. So, his gambit to cash in on the well-known Roloff pumpkin farm didn't really pan out. Matt may have priced himself out of the market. The byproduct of his failed attempt to sell his iconic property was a bitter feud with his own child, who seems to think his father's a bit of a tyrant. Things are bad in the Roloff family, and the fate of the famous series hangs in the balance. It's hard to say if the show can survive the departure of Zach, Tori, and their cute little kids. They were sort of the heart and soul of the show. Without them, the show's about a bunch of adults who've really been through the ringer. Zach and Tori still have the ideals of youth. They're trying to build a great life as a family. Their absence from Little People, Big World will possibly ruin the show. Hopefully, Matt and Zach will mend their relationship. Matt Roloff's journey on Little People, Big World has been notoriously fraught, but he's revealed new information after a non-disclosure agreement expired. The Roloff family is in shambles after Amy Roloff and Matt's divorce. Amy remarried Chris Marek following her divorce from Matt, while Jeremy Roloff and his wife, Audrey Roloff, decided to leave the show to focus on other endeavours. Despite these shifts, Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff remained committed to his family and the farm. However, everything changed in Little People, Big World Season 25. Matt put a portion of the farm, including their original family home, up for sale without consulting his children. This move deeply hurt Zach, as he felt betrayed by his father's actions. Things only got worse when Matt offered the land to Zach for a price he couldn't afford, signalling to Zach that his father had no intention of passing on the farm to him. The strained relationship between Zach and Matt escalated, with disagreements popping up online. Matt now has more to say about what happened with his son, Matt Roloff, knows his decisions about Roloff Farms hurt Zach Roloff. According to US Weekly, Matt shared a lengthy Facebook post on April 26, 2024, after his NDA expired. The news outlet detailed Matt's open expression of the mistakes he made regarding the sale of the family farm. Most importantly, he expressed pride in Zach's accomplishments, and he would prefer a mended relationship. Matt is traditionally a prideful person. So while he didn't fully apologize or express regret for how the farm sale went down, he wishes it would have gone differently. It hasn't been easy, especially all while being filmed, and sometimes even very painful. But in the end, it's all been productive, and although, in hindsight, I would change several of my processes, I believe the results are better, and I love watching all the kids find their independence and passions on their own terms. The reality TV star detailed, "I can't say I handled it without some mistakes and missteps regarding the farm sale." He continued, "It hasn't been easy, especially all while being filmed, and sometimes even very painful. But in the end, it's all been productive, and although in hindsight I would change several of my processes, I believe the results are better, and I love watching all the kids find their independence and passions on their own terms." That's as close as Matt will venture to express regret. He knows how he handled the situation that wounded Zach and their relationship. Amy Roloff doesn't like all of Matt's decisions about the farm either, regarding his farm sale decisions. In an episode from March 2024, Amy expressed her sadness about the state of the farm. In a conversation with friends Lisa and Deb, she shared how the farm feels different since Matt is building a new house there with his fiancée Corinne, alluding to her disagreement. Amy felt the farm was empty, but understood that the divorce set these issues into motion. Amy regretted selling the farm to Matt. Hoping he would negotiate a lower price with her sons, Amy sold her 32 acres of the family farm to Matt in 2020 for $975,000. She hoped that selling her half would facilitate a repurchase by her older sons. However, Matt handled this differently than Amy would have hoped. Matt eventually paid $1,642,000 to own the entirety of Roloff Farms, leading to tension between him and Zach. Zach felt cheated by his father's counter-offer, which differed significantly from his initial offer based on what Matt bought Amy out for. Amy regretted selling the farm to Matt, hoping he would negotiate a lower price with her sons. The sale of Roloff Farms has been quite confusing. In May 2022, Matt initially listed 16 acres, including the original family home, for sale at $4 million. However, he withdrew the listing in December 2023 after reducing the price to $3,395,000. After the unsuccessful sale, Matt transformed the property into a short-term rental, allowing guests to stay in the family home starting November 2022. Therefore, it seems the farm has not been sold, and he and Corinne are still living on the property. Matt revealed Jacob Roloff is currently running the entire farm. However, this is not a long-term solution. Matt has previously stated on the show that Amy will inherit the property after his death to avoid conflicts among their children, and Karen agrees with this arrangement. While the farm decisions undoubtedly tore the Roloff family apart, Matt appears to have expressed some regret. He can do nothing to go back in time, but perhaps with some humility, he and Zach can heal, even if Zach and Tori's Little People Big World tenure is over.